Okay, we are now joined by the driver of the number 12 Team Penske Ford, and that's Ryan Blaney. If you have a question for Ryan, please raise your hand. We'll get you a mic. We'll start up here to Peter and go about the room.
Over here, Ryan, Peter Stroud at TSJ Sports. You told me last year you didn't have plans where the second grandfather clock would go. Where did that one go? And do you have plans for where a third one would go?
It's second one's still at the race shop a year later. It's in the box still. So I got to find room for that. But yeah, I'll make some room. I haven't found a home for the second one yet, but I will find it. And if we're lucky enough to get a third one, I'll find that one a home too. Hopefully it doesn't live in the shop for another year. I've been lazy on picking it up, but find space.
Go to Zach, then Bob.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Jonathan said this week that you have a specific feel for what you're looking for out of the car and that you can usually tell by practice on Saturday. How do you personally adapt throughout a weekend here at Martinsville to find that bit of success that you need?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting practice session to the race type thing. It's Bristol's pretty similar as far as practice to race. A lot of the concrete tracks, like I'd put Dover in there too. You're going to have a completely different track to start a practice than what you end with, even in the second group. And then into the race, it's going to be a lot different too, just with the amount of rubber that gets put down. And so I try to think back on previous races here, like how were we in practice and what did we change or what did I need going into the race, and was it the right direction or was it kind of different than what I thought it was going to be, and just kind of compare all that stuff. Just try to guess, and it's going to be pretty cool. Today and tomorrow, I think it's going to be about the same temp as the race tomorrow when we get practicing today, so that helps. You're not two completely different temperatures. So yeah, just a lot of previous notes, history, and then just trying to have that feel. And hey, if I'm this way in practice, I kind of need to be prepared for the track to take this little step in this certain direction, and let's guard against that, or let's work towards that, kind of if I need double of what I think I need at the time. So a lot of track history and experience definitely helps that out, and you hope you hit it right.
Go, Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. I wanted to say, you just said if you were lucky enough to win a third. I'm just like, how much luck or fortune do you need to win a race here?
Oh, I think that was just a figure of speech. I don't think you need any luck to win here. I was really just saying, I'm lucky to have won here a few times. I just find myself lucky to be in, not specifically anything lucky that happened during these races. It's just lucky to have a car that can go win and be able to win in victory lane. But no, it's just a long race. Like 500 laps around here is a lot, and a lot of shifts, a lot of things that can go wrong, a lot of things that can go right. So you just kind of got to stay in the game. And we've stayed in the game the last two fall races here and have been able to pull it off and kind of come from behind and get the win. So, yeah, we'll see if we can just be in the game tomorrow. That's all you can really ask for. And hopefully our car has the speed to do it, and hopefully we adjust on it through the day and through the race to make it happen. So, yeah, I wouldn't say lucky on any means, just I always feel lucky. It's the chances that I've gotten through my life.
Go to Lee.
Lee Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio and CatchFence.com. You had to carve through 300 drivers to close out the win last year over the last 50 laps, and none of them are locked in yet. And I'm kind of curious, what is it? Is it patience? Is it perseverance? To be able to go through three of the best, what does it take?
Yeah, I had to do that last year, and heck, I think last year it was the same thing. None of them were locked in. So you're in for a battle, and you're in for a challenge when you are racing against the guys that have to get in, that are in the same spot as you, or things like that. So last year was an awesome finish of the race between me, Chase, and Kyle. Just three guys kind of under a blanket duking it out, and we were able to come out on top. And I expect the same thing, hard racing all the way through, and fairly clean racing. You hope, there's going to be contact, but you just hope it doesn't turn into a cluster like, we've seen here in the past. And I think we've been doing it, the right way and the way Martinsville is supposed to be raced. So, you're in for a battle. It's going to be a crazy one tomorrow night. Four guys got to win. two guys kind of having their own little points deal going on and battling not to be the bottom seed in case one of us do win. So it'll be a wild night, and hopefully we're in the mix. That's all you can ask for. Or
Go in the back here and then up front.
Zach Moyer for Rolling By. Blaney, every time I listen to the Dale Earnhardt Jr. download, TJ Majors always brings up how you're the best at wrapping the curb around here. So I'm wondering if when it takes to win here, is wrapping the curb one of those things you have to be well at?
Yeah, I think it varies. I've seen races won here kind of like a big diamond in the middle of the corner, entering on the curb and fading up and then coming down the racetrack and exiting low. I've seen second lane dominance here win the race. I've seen curb wrap and win the race. I think each driver just has their own style of how they approach it, and I've just always approached it that way of kind of trying to carry a ton of speed right along the curb. And I feel like I'm my best when I can do that because I'm comfortable doing that, and I always look for my car to be able to do that. So yeah, I think it's just driver preference, and then what will your car do? What does your car do the best, and how do you kind of get the most out of it in that case?
And then the second question, we have a new tire here. It'll be a high of 61, cloudy, concrete turns. We see what's cooler temperatures at a concrete track. You kind of brought up how there's a chance how today's weather could be a little bit different than tomorrow. But just what is your expectations for the tires?
Yeah, I don't know. We get asked that a lot before practice when we have a new tire. What do you expect? And I have no idea. I have a better answer for you in about an hour and a half. But I just, it's supposed to be softer, more wear. They've been working on that for the left side tire especially. Left seems to be tougher to wear out than the rights for sure. And I definitely think it's on the right path. But yeah, I just hope it lays some rubber down. I know when it's cool like this, it usually doesn't like to lay rubber down. So hopefully this tire helps do that. But yeah, we'll find out. I just hope it continues to go down the path that Goodyear's been working on of just wearing out. And if you kind of get too much of it, you're going to be in trouble, which I think it's how race tires should be.
Go here. And then John.
Eric Johnson, WSLS. Ryan, can you just speak to the confidence that comes from winning here in the fall and taking that into a championship race and winning it all? What does that do for confidence throughout the entire week?
Yeah, when we were able to win this race in 23, we carried a bunch of confidence over that week. I feel like we were in a great mindset, and then doing it last year, I feel like we had the same mindset of I'm a big believer in momentum and confidence and things like that, and it can change your outlook on things. Just how you open your eyes in the morning, if you're confident, it changes your outlook on the day ahead of you. So, yeah, it was definitely a big factor in us winning 23. It was a big factor in us contending last year and almost getting it done again. So I've been fortunate to be a part of two of those, winning Martinsville and going to Phoenix. And yeah, definitely. And everyone remembers the most recent winner, not only the outside world, but your competitors, right? They remember who won last week and who's looking good. And so yeah, it's a big confidence boost. So hopefully we can be in that position. Gotta get the job done tomorrow night to have that week.
Go to John and then Dustin.
John Newby, Fan Buzz. So you talked about, racing cleanly, all that different stuff. When you have to kind of move through the field, how much patience do you have with the slower cars before you, kind of give them a little extra bumper to get them out of the way?
It depends. Depends what moment of the race it is. I compare it to like last year when I was third and kind of running down the 9 and the 5. The 9 got around the 5, and I laid the bumper to the 5 pretty quickly because I just didn't have time. I didn't have time to sit behind somebody. It was like 20 laps to go in the race, and you kind of have to move forward and not get stuck behind somebody because they can make your life hell sitting behind them and things like that. So I think it's moments in time where you get more aggressive than others. Early in the race, might not do that. But it just kind of depends. So that's, as a driver, like that's what you're weighing in the moment. And it can also say, hey, if you're working a guy over for 20, 30 laps and there's a group behind you catching you, I got to go. Like I can't risk losing 2 or 3 spots because you're holding me up and I've played nice for 30 laps. I kind of got to get moving. So it's all situational to me of what time it is in the race or, what position you're in front and back, stuff like that.
We'll go Dustin and then Claire.
Dustin Lamino, J-Ski, Ryan, 5 of the last 6 winners here have started outside the top 10. So how important is qualifying here?
I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I suck at qualifying here. I've just never been able to qualify well for whatever reason. It's like two very different mindsets, race pace to qualifying pace. Lines, just kind of how you approach everything. And I usually get stuck in like the race pace, line, driving mode through practice because that's what I'm thinking about. And then going out and qualifying, it's like complete opposite, complete 180 from what you've just done for the last 70 laps in practice. Some guys can kind of carry it over quick. To me, I struggle a little bit more into kind of flipping onto the qualifying mode here just because it's so different. But something you work on, like you try your best. I don't enjoy qualifying 15th or 20th when I come here. So hopefully that can change today. And but yeah, it's a tough one for sure. And I'd say this is the toughest place to, I say here in Darlington, are like the toughest places to go from practice to qualifying, just from a driver mindset, strategy of how you attack the corner and things like that. Completely different lines and lanes. And so yeah, I'd say it's important for sure. Good pit stall and start you ahead of the mess a little bit. But see what happens. I hope I can qualify okay today. We'll see.
Go to Claire and then wrap with Zach up front.
Claire Beelang, Dialed In Journal. Martinsville being a cutoff race, people always talk about Talladega, and it's like, well, that's a crazy wild card. Where is that in the playoffs race? But what about Martinsville as a cutoff race? Shortest track on the circuit. Should we talk more about this as a cutoff race and how crazy it will be?
Yeah, I mean, I think each one has its own little element to it. Talladega has all the wild card just from the wrecks and the way drafting tracks work. So that deserves to get all the the buzz around it. And then this one, it's Martinsville. No matter if it's a cutoff race, playoff race or not, there's always going to be a lot of action here, and just comes with the size of the racetrack and what goes on, for those laps. But yeah, I think both of them are very, very exciting and important in their own respective ways. You talk about two completely different racetracks. They all have their unique, pieces to them. And I think this weekend, this race, knowing it's a cutoff race and Martinsville, is just as exciting as Talladega and unpredictable in a way, just a little bit different.
And you were talking about how crazy it might be, and those that are in line to either, do or die to advance. The characteristic of the people that are there and have to do that is different, different years, right? This group that have to do or die, it's not a big group of drivers. Do you kind of know how you think they'll race here or not as you race next to them? No. I
never know. The beauty about racing against the same people every week is you kind of can get their tendencies a little bit. But I've tried to learn to not rely too much on other people's tendencies because you never know what they're thinking in that time or what position that they're in. So you have to kind of be ready for everything, to be honest with you. So like I said earlier, I expect it to get to be a great race. I really do think it's going to be a fantastic race. You got multiple things going on that we're going to be having to watch out for, like on TV, people watching. And in my mind, my job is just to win the race. I don't have to worry about points or anything. So I have a little bit more, not peace of mind. I have less than peace of mind. I don't want to be in this position, like Macho Man says, unjustifiably in a position I'd rather not be in. But yeah, I don't think people are capable of anything, and I don't think just racing around the same guys every week or these 8 guys, you can't really rely on what they've done in the past or their tendencies just because it can all change very quickly.
Ryan, kind of to that point, where are you mentally this weekend? You've been in these backs against the wall situations before, even here. How do you remain unfazed by these sorts of moments and stay focused on the task at hand?
Yeah, just understand what needs to be done this weekend, and no, you can't control anything that happened last week. It's in the past. It's done. It's how do we go into this weekend? We know what we have to do, and just go try to be 100% of what this 12 group can be. And I'd say that's all I've ever asked of like people in our group is just give your best effort, through the week, through the weekend. Just put up all of yourself, and if it's enough, that's awesome, and we were able to do it. If not, at least you did everything you could, and nothing was left on the table. And you hold your heads high, whether win or lose, So that's just the kind of the way I approach it. That's the way this whole group approaches it, and you just give it your all, and no matter the outcome. Yeah, one outcome is obviously better than the other, but if you gave everything you had, then you can still be proud of your effort, So pretty easy to get in these modes. It's just a weekend where you have to go perform, and we perform every weekend. It's just how good can you perform compared to others this weekend. So I guess that's how we've approached this week leading up to this event.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate the
Thank
time,
you.
and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.